Welcome everybody. This is Adrià Balcázar, Learning Guide at Learnlife Barcelona Urban Hub, and today we're talking about Adelantes. And to do so, I have with me one of our learners, Storm. Hello, Storm.
Hello, nice to be here.
Nice to have you, Storm. So Adelante is one of the building blocks that goes across all of our learning programs at the Urban Hub. You could see as some sort of elective because it's a very fresh building block. Every 2 weeks, we have new activities being presented. Let's hear how it feels from a learner perspective. Storm, how would you explain Adelantes to someone who has never been at Learnlife?
Well, first to start with, it's kind of a experience for the learner there. It's kind of an experience, firstly, to learn from other people. And it's also a way for learners to teach other learners their skills. So for example, me, in that case, I taught people how to 3D model. So it's kind of a way for learners to teach other learners their skills that they know of. So for example, another learner made a video editing Adelante, so he taught his peers how to video edit.
Very cool. So this happens on a rotational basis. Adelantes happen 3-4 times every week, and every 2 weeks, we change the topics completely. We have 6-7 different topics going on. We can have, as Storm has said, video editing, 3D modeling. We can have nature art. We can have yoga. We can have improvisational theater, all sorts of different activities, and they're all led by learners. So Storm, how do you sign up to be a facilitator of an Adelante?
Well, the first thing to do is you go to a learning guide of the program, the lead of your program. So it goes from explorers, then creators, and change makers. So you just go to the lead of your program and then just ask them, can I lead the Adelante? And then they give you a form that you have to fill out. Then you fill out that form, and if the learning guides see it as good and it seems everything right, then they'll give you the approval to start and facilitate your Adelante.
Certainly, we do have certain quality check to make sure that facilitation plans for every Adelante make sense. And we also support our learners who struggle to prepare, because in the end, we do expect all learners at some point to be the leaders of an Adelante program. Now, Adelante programs were born out of the mind of one of our learners. He came up with the idea, hey, I would love to teach these things and to be a learning guide for my peers. And I would love to do this and that activity. And it would take around, 6-7 hours. So we gave that learner 1 hour every day for 2 weeks. And it was a blasting success. So we started doing these Adelantes as learning guides. So it would be learning guides who run them. And some of them would be run by learners. And slowly but steadily, they were all taken over by learners. And this is, to me, the biggest sign of success, that learners have embraced, taken agency, and made Adelante their own building block, the block where they teach their peers, and learning guides just need to support on the side. So Storm, tell me, what do you like about the Adelante programs?
Wow, there's a lot to talk about, but the main thing that I like doing as I've facilitated a couple is, to be able to transfer your skills or your experiences onto other people. So, I can teach 3D modeling to people, and that's probably the main thing that I love.
Right. So there's a lot of learners who enjoy, like Storm, passing on their knowledge to others. And there's some learners who at first don't think they will enjoy it, but eventually really find it cool and enjoyable as an experience. At the same time, we've seen learners develop lots of skills in the process. Storm, do you have any comments on skills that you have developed by being the facilitator of Adelante activities?
Well, yeah, first I want to start off with saying, it's not easy. And when you lead your own perspective on how it is to be a learning guide or a teacher in that way, and sorry, I messed up that. I forgot the main question. Sorry.
That's okay. Which are the key skills that you think you developed as a facilitator of an Adelante?
Yeah, being able to teach, being able to show and express your skills to other people and show them in a way that they will be able to learn it, not just just going over everything super fast. You have to learn kind of your audience or your learners. You have to know at which pace they go and all of that. So that's a big skill to know.
Excellent. So there's been coaching and mentoring, there's been presentation skills, facilitation, leadership, all sorts of cool skills that Storm, for example, has been developing through his 3D modeling Atalantes. Now, another cool thing about this is that since all groups are mixed, you get learners of all ages working together and learning from each other, and you can have very young kids teaching much older teams, and that really boosts people's confidence in themselves and in each other. So the community becomes a much stronger community through the existence of this program that mixes everybody up. It breaks the barriers in between. One other critical aspect about this is that there's always 6 or 7 different multiple options. Storm, do you usually find it hard or easy to choose out of the options that are available for Adelantes?
It's most of the times, or for in my case, it's kind of in the middle. You have to think about what you want to choose, of course, because that's what you're going to do in the next weeks. But it's not specifically hard to choose. It's just you kind of have to know what you kind of just have to think in the future and know, all right, is this going to be useful? Is it going to be, do I want to learn this? That's the main thing. But yeah, in my case, also sometimes I thought, wow, I don't want to do this. But at the end, it has been like a great experience for me, to learn a new skill that I never thought that I would be learning. So it's not technically hard and it's not easy. It's in the middle.
Cool. Very interesting. Would you say it pushes you to have a more open mind towards different things that are out there?
Definitely. What I like is that you have to choose one. You can't skip it. So let's say there's a fashion Adelante. Then I would say no, I don't like fashion. But then I do it, and then I figure out, wow, fashion is a lot of fun at the end. So it really pushes you to learn new skills or new hobbies that you like.
Excellent. How does it feel as a learner to have the choice of selecting which Adelante you prefer, rather than being assigned to a specific class and that's it?
Well, first of all, it's just the kind of overall happiness of it. The environment in an Adelante really it lets, I think, also let people together. It's very friendly, the environment, because people choose that, and maybe people like the same skills because that's why they chose it. And it's great to be able to choose your own because, yeah, as I said, the environment is much friendlier because people want to learn it. People are not forced to learn it. So yeah, that's the thing.
So we could say Adelantes are a way that Learnlife supports learner agency, right? We give learners a bit of power in that way to choose what they want to do with their time. At the same time, we make sure that they're trying new things now and then, so they don't get too comfortable. All right. And one more point to touch upon. Storm, let's see how much you've noticed. Have you noticed learning guides making sure that Adelantes are valuable learning experiences?
Yeah, I have.
What do learning guides do to make sure that they're good and successful?
Wow. I mean, there's always, I meant, a learning guide, looking over it, making sure everything's going right. Because, I mean, let's say there's a video game Adelante or something. I mean, maybe, playing video games is not the most, how do I say it, the most, the word is not going into my mind. It's maybe not the most experience or kind of learning way to go through. I mean, you won't learn a lot going through video games. So yeah, I ran into the issue again. Forgot the question. I was going to answer.
No problem. The question was, what things do learning guide do to make sure that Adelantes are useful learning experiences?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, as I said, yeah, they go over, they look over, make sure everything is going right. They also, I've seen that they kind of they put a lot of effort in, making sure everyone is doing good and it is going well. So in that kind of way, I don't know. I don't know kind of the answer to it.
That's okay. That's also the learning guide side of things. And you as a learner don't need to know absolutely every little detail. But yeah, you already mentioned it before, right? You need to submit a form, and the form asks you for a detailed facilitation plan, session by session. So we review that and we support learners to make sure they have a strong, sensible facilitation plan. And on the spot, we also support the learners who are facilitating. I think in your 3D modeling Adelante, you were supported by Joan as a learning guide, Storm?
Yes, that's correct.
So was Joan helping you get better at presenting, at being a leader, at facilitating?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I ran into the issue a lot of times that people weren't paying attention, for example. And, having an adult near you, of course, always, it, in a way, of course, shows more power because you are older and, you are the one with the most experience, and, people will listen to you, of course. So it's always nice to have a person that's in control, like completely in control. Even though I'm in full control. I mean, I can tell people to, not talk, but me as a peer, it's not the best thing to say to your friends or your peers to shut up or something.
It can be difficult social dynamics. Yeah, it's good to have the learning guide there.
It is.
For sure. All right. It's very cool. Thank you, Storm. So Adelantes have been a thing at Learnlife for almost 2 full years now. I remember the first time we created Adelantes, every idea we had a lifespan or around 1 month. And after that, we had to come up with new ideas. We were at a very, very early stage of our innovation processes. But now we have ideas like Adelante that have stayed with us for almost 2 years, and we're getting more and more solid, more and more stable. So I'm really happy to see the maturity of this idea, of this concept. And yeah, I'm excited to next year. So Storm, I could anticipate that the first round of Adelantes in September will probably include making jewelry with beading, improvised theater, and psychology. Is there any of those 3 that you already can tell me, yeah, I definitely prefer that one?
Could you repeat the first one, please?
Yeah, jewelry with beads. So making bracelets and so
on. As a great point, as I said before, is the beads one. For example, me, I'm not into beads. I'm not a big fan of making it. But, in that case, I would maybe probably give it a chance. I would say, wow, I'm going to try it, see how much fun it is. And, maybe at the end, I mean, I love music. So maybe at the end, it's a lot of fun to make beats and songs and all of that. So yeah, I would choose beats in that case.
All right. So we'll see in September when we have the full offers, and then every 2 weeks it's going to be different. But thank you so much for your participation today, for explaining to everyone how Adelantes work and how it feels like to be a learner in one of them. It's been a pleasure to have this conversation with you, Storm.
Thank you. Same here. It's been a lot of fun doing this.
Bye, everyone.
Muy bien, después de oír a Adria y Storm, vamos a poneros un vídeo que han hecho los learners para que veáis lo que es un adelante. Y os recuerdo que en vuestra parte derecha podéis poner los mensajes y preguntas que podáis tener, que así os las haremos llegar respondidas. Muchas gracias.
So here we are at Learnlife, and today I'm going to show you what a day in space looks like. So Phil, what do you like about Atlantis?
I like how Adelantes are something that you can learn in a creative aspect, and there's so much to it. It's not just like a little class or something. I think there's a lot more to it, and there, like for example, there's VR, which you're having fun, and then there's website design, which you can actually learn something. And I think that it's just all a big thing, that it's something that you learn in a more fun way. Cool.
About LMS?
What I like about LMS is how you can use what you're learning there later in your life by helping your friends in their relationships and their problems.
Cool. What was your favorite LMS you've done so far?
Well-being, because it was very useful for me as an individual and for my friend and for my friends, so that I can be more supportive for them.
So Kimin, why do you think express yourself is important?
Well, the main goal of express yourself is not actually to lead a workshop, it's to write. And who doesn't write? Do you write?
Yeah.
Do you write? It's crazy. We all write. Text, doesn't matter if it's a professional team. We all have to write, and so learning about something so essential is really important.
What do you like most about express yourself?
They gave us the opportunity to lead sessions, and I thought that was really fun to see our peers present, be a learning guide, have a role of a teacher. And I thought that was really engaging, and I was like proud to be a learning guide and have my students.
So Addy, what do you think the learners are learning in the self-directed? Like, what do you think are the most important skills they have to put in practice?
Well, during self-directed time, learners learn a whole range of skills depending on which activity they're self-directed. Very often, those are different passions they have. So they're self-directing projects or work in different studios. Might be multimedia, music, coding, electronics, science, anything really. But most importantly, I think, while learners are self-directing, they're learning the skill and the capacity to plan, to manage their time, to regulate their distractions, to regulate their emotions, their frustrations, the skill to ask for help, and at the same time the skill to be resourceful, not to have to ask for help constantly. So there's a lot of skills that are essential for a human being to function and to thrive that learners are acquiring by working on their self-directed activities.
So Jonathan, how do you think Learnlife's paradigm is different from traditional schools?
Well, I think that traditional schools try to teach to a template and a model, and I think that Learnlife's model allows it to be a little bit more adaptable and teach things that are within the framework of what the learning model can fit into the educator's point of view. So instead of saying, here's the lesson, figure out how to do it, I think that the Learnlife model of not only presenting information in different ways, but also allowing the learners to teach each other presents it in a framework that makes it in very nice digestible format for a lot of the learners and people who want a different aspect of that question.
How do you think like Learnlife's culture works? Like, what's the culture that Learnlife is trying to portray?
I think that the original format of how we learn things as humans, as a civilization, is that we do a lot of things that are trial and error, and over time society has systemized things. And I think that what Learnlife is good at is that what I like to call the going with the flow. Mm-hmm. And so as things come up, we analyze them and think, maybe there is a better way to do something. And so we shift that. And I think that that flexibility of being a startup school education model allows the culture to sort of create itself. And so the culture of participation is what I think makes it much different as opposed to spoon feeding things to people.